Hey, welcome to the I Love Labs podcast. My name is Sally Sykes. I'm a functional medicine health coach and your lab expert by way of being a patient. I learned how to optimize my own health in labs after being frustrated with the conventional medical process myself. And now I help my coaching clients do the same along with their providers. Um, and my goal is just to help everyone get better faster and get the answers they need. Knowledge is power. And, look, in this current medical environment, you may only have a few minutes with your provider. So you got to be your own best advocate. And the more you know, the better questions you can ask and the better result that you can end up having. Um, as a patient, I found that when I would go to my doctor with certain vague symptoms that a lot of us have, kind of in our 40s, we're like fatigued, I'm not sleeping, my hair is falling out, where'd my libido go? My mood's not where it was. I feel like I'm losing muscle mass, things like that. I really wasn't getting where I needed to go. And then on top of that, my father was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. And when that happened, I really did a deep dive into the causes of Alzheimer's disease. I really, at that point, thought it was all genetic, and it turns out most of it is not. It is due to diet and lifestyle changes that are entirely modifiable. And read Dr. Dale Bredesen's book, The End of Alzheimer's, which is an amazing book. And in it, he talks about optimizing certain lab values for good health, including preventing insulin resistance, replacing hormones in perimenopause, menopause, and andropause, optimizing thyroid function, optimizing nutrition, lowering inflammation, and reducing underlying infections. And for me, that was revolutionary. He's got a table in his book showing his optimal ranges for several key labs that are different, the different ones that I had ever seen in my lab reports that were showing normal ranges. So I did more research and realized, what these normal ranges are. Normal ranges they're going to vary by lab. They're just the statistical middle of all the sick people getting those labs at that lab. And as the American population gets sicker and sicker, those normal lab ranges also get sicker and sicker. So they're less relevant to what it means to be in good health. And that really got me started on a 15-year journey of learning about labs, reading everything I can get my hands on from every functional medicine practitioner out there, whether it's Dale Bredesen, Dr. Mark Hyman, um, uh, look, Sarah E. Hill, Andrew Huberman, Peter Attia, Dr. Jason Fung, L. Russ, Isabella Wentz, Dr. Laura Bryden. There's some incredible people out there, not to mention some amazing studies and resources available on PubMed that you can dive into to find really, what are the optimal ranges for these labs that are for good health, not just what is normal in the United States, because that's what the average is, and how that can make such a difference in preventing disease and living our best life. Because, look, in the end, I think we all just want to be our best selves and not get to the end of our lives and think we wasted it because we weren't feeling well, or we didn't have the energy we wanted to have. We didn't have the cognition that we should have. So that got me started on that journey. Once I had done it for myself, I started my own coaching practice and started helping my friends and coaching clients analyze their own labs so that when they go to their doctors, they had a much better idea of what was going on in their bodies, and were able to ask better questions of their providers and get the help that they need to get optimized, so that if they didn't want to go on certain pharmaceutical medications that cover up symptoms, they wanted to actually treat the root cause, that they could actually do that. And I work with a lot of amazing functional medicine practitioners, MDs, DOs, NPs, PAs, who are just incredible and do very similar work. I work with a lot of patients on weight loss, especially with semaglutide or some of these GLP-1 medications, semaglutide, tirzepatide, other names are Ozempic, Wegovy, Manjaro. I help patients with fertility, restoring fertility naturally, and cognitive health, hair loss, all kind of issues. And I think some of the we're going to cover a lot of ground in this podcast. The very first podcast episode I made is about menopause and perimenopause, because October is World Menopause Awareness Month. But I'm going to be covering, I think the next one I'll probably do is a deep dive into weight loss with semaglutide and tirzepatide, these GLP-1 medications, because I think that's probably the source of the most of the questions that I get. How do they work? How do you do them right? How do you avoid side effects? Are they safe long term? How do you make sure you don't gain the weight back after you go off of them? And these are things that I've been working with these medications with patients for a little while now, and so I think that's going to be a great next topic. But I'd also like to address all kinds of issues. So you're going to see an episode on andropause and men's health, heart health, supplement recommendations, inflammation, thyroid health, insulin resistance, insomnia, alcohol, functional fertility, birth control. And I'd really like to hear from you guys what topics you'd like me to cover, because that's what I'm most interested in, is helping you be your best self. In the end, this podcast is all about you, and it's about patient education, empowerment, and advocacy. And my friend Tara Renze has a wonderful book called Be Who You Came to Be. And I love this book, but I love the quote as well she got from her grandmother, because this is exactly what functional medicine is about and what my coaching practice is about. I want to help you be who you came on this planet to be, to bring your gifts to the world and be your healthiest, best self. And we can do that when we're optimized and when we're not living under normal ranges and we're trying to aim for optimal ranges, because we all deserve to be optimized. So we got this. I hope you enjoy the podcast.